Recording in progress.
I love Protect Society.
Hello, Moses.
How are you? Hope you're fine. This is the Shy Yeti Show.
Okay, where you go?
Aloha.
Why have I got horns?
Oh no.
Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh, there's going to be some drama ahead.
All I wanted was a pie.
And then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over.
He's ready to record.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep?
Your show's getting so international, Paul.
Boy, he's not all that shy, is right.
Blimey, Governor. It's the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, Paul.
I don't know how he's done it.
Excellent.
817. Bonjour et bienvenue au podcast The Shy Life.
Hello and welcome listeners to yet another episode of the Shy Life Podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. So what's happening this time? Well, as you may know, it's our 10th anniversary, and I thought it would be nice to take a look back at past episodes. And I don't mean recent past episodes, I meant going right back to the start, going right back to 2016, and sort of talking about the episodes with that sort of 10-year perspective. Hopefully this is going out in May, around the actual 10th anniversary, but it's probably going to take 2 or 3 episodes. I've decided that the anniversary year will be spread out across the summer. There's a lot going on. We've got a wedding to take care of, and that's just the start of it. So this episode we're going to talk probably about the first 25 episodes. All right, anyway, let's run the theme music and then let's get started. All right, run that theme music.
Darling, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
My favorite person is here.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Yes, but it's a positive thing, Paul. The High Life, the Shy Life.
I'll go anywhere from taste it.
Hello, captains. How are you?
Oh,
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh my, have you ever found out my secret? Have you haven't?
I love the Yeti. It's my favorite thing.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Yeah, I'm strangely drawn to Yeti Uncle John's ankles as well.
I could eat my body weight in crisps.
Has anyone seen my hot sausage?
It's all gooey and meaty and yum, 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 yum.
Oh my goodness. It was enormous.
I don't think I'm ready to speak about it.
Here comes the grizzly.
It's the Shy Life Podcast.
I can't wait for it to begin.
Alright, I'm just thinking maybe.
I like that.
Hi there.
Marvelous. Marvelous, Paul.
Okay, we are recording.
Okay, so we've got Grizzly here today. Hi, Grizzly.
Hi, Grizzly.
What I thought I'd do this episode, and once upon a time, long, long ago, there was a little podcast called the Shy Life Podcast, and it was before I met you. It was 2016, and I just thought this episode I'd share lots of clips and talk about the early days with you, and there'll be names and faces that you recognise from the show now, Grizzly, and listeners. Some of the listeners were probably there as well, but anyway, back at the end of 2016, we did our first review of the year, and in some ways this is going to be very similar, except what I'm intending to do is do the year from May 2016 to May 2017, the first year, and also looking back at it from the hindsight of 10 years ago. And presumably
I wasn't even born yet.
Okay. Listeners don't believe him. Yeah, we're going to share clips, and presumably the clips will be different from the ones that I did 10 years ago anyway. So anyway, Grizzly, let's go back. I'm talking to you as well, listeners, but I'll be talking to Grizzly because he's here in front of me.
Kind of.
So the big question I know Grizzly has is, why did I start doing the podcast? Isn't that right, Grizzly?
I guess.
Say it then.
If you say so.
No, say, what was it that made you start the podcast?
What made you to start the podcast?
It's funny you asked me that, Grizzly. I don't know, really.
After 3 tries.
I got to the point where I've been listening to podcasts for, I don't know, I feel like I started listening to podcasts around 2010, but that might not be quite right. And I had been paying a lot of attention to like horror podcasts, The Hysteria Continues, and then I discovered Toppy, because from The Hysteria Continues horror podcast, there was a guest on it called Patrick who had his own horror podcast, and I started listening to that. And his show was sort of part of Pride 48, and he also had Toppy as a guest. And Toppy was talking about Dark Shadows, which I liked, and I thought, oh, this guy sounds like fun. And then I found out he had his own show. Well, not only one, but the Smellcast and Life on the Shit List. So I started listening to those, and I sort of contacted him, and it got to the point where I started sending him sort of little snippets of things that were supposedly happening to me. And then I think I'd even been a guest on the Smellcast. And then one day, it was sort of around the time of the late May bank holiday in 2016, I just started thinking, well, I'd quite like to do a podcast. And I guess I'd like to do one along the lines of the Smellcast where you can do anything, really. But also, I definitely wanted to have the improvisational side with characters. And obviously, I had characters and voices that I used to do in Sutton Park. I mean, sorry, I had friends who, like Cromitty, who'd been in Sutton Park. And anyway, it depends whether we're talking real life or fictional life. Anyway.
Life.
Yeah, I was trying to, I was kind of thinking, well, I'll kind of do it, I'll plan to do it by the summer. And then I think I was just bored, and I thought, well, I'll just go out and I went and had a little walk down the road. And thought, well, I'll do a pilot episode, and in the notes for the first episode, it says this is the pilot episode for my forthcoming The Shy Life podcast.
And you weren't cancelled after the pilot episode, so people liked it.
Yeah, and I put I hope to start posting regularly later in the summer. It was a short episode, the first episode, but I kind of gave myself all of 5 minutes before I started doing episode 1. Nobody was really advising me, even though the first episode was slightly under 15 minutes long. I think I just worked it all out on Google. Like, well, how do you do a logo? Oh, type it in on Google. Obviously, I knew you need a photograph or whatever, but how to put words on over the photograph, how to get it to the right pixel size and that sort of thing. Where to use as a host. Well, that was the trouble. Once you got one episode on, and you were having to pay a subscription to have that episode available. Although I did have things like SoundCloud at that point. Now, I can't quite remember if quite the order of things, but the first episode didn't have any guests as such, but it did have a poem from what I call my latest EP, because I was releasing it on Bandcamp, and I was releasing them like they were songs, but they were actually poems, and I'd recorded them. And I talked a little bit about working in libraries, maybe not strictly the truth. And we also met Damius Trinklehorn in that very first episode, and he was talking about his appearances in a number of horror films in the 1960s. But it was just a pilot episode, and I recorded it between the Saturday the 14th and Monday the 16th of May 2016, and put it out pretty quickly. But we should listen to a clip from that. Hello and welcome to the Shy Life podcast with me, Shy Yeti. Yes, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in this first show. I'm just going to try a lot of different things and see what works best. Yep. Okay, right, let's get started. Play the music. Before I continue much further, I just kind of wanted to share with you why I'm trying to do this podcast. Those of you who will remember my videos on YouTube under Mr. Shy Yeti will be thinking, perhaps, why don't I go back to doing that? Well, you know, that was fun, but it did get to the stage where the editing became a problem. I'm hoping that won't be the same case with the editing of this show, but we shall see. I do want to do different things, though, with the podcast. I myself have started listening to some really good podcasts in the last 2 or 3 years. I will mention my favourites at some point. But I think I've learned a lot of tips from listening to those shows. And one of the things, you know, I have learned myself is that I would listen to a podcast in a situation that I would never have the time to listen to, say, a video, or watch a video. I listen to podcasts while I'm doing work, while I'm commuting. It's a completely different form of communication, and you know, I've got ideas for my show that are, you know, perhaps a little bit like the videos I used to make. I want to sort of make them lots of little segments, perhaps with different people. I want to mix in my travelling with my poetry and my writing. I might record things if I do any shows on, you know, as I say, on holiday perhaps. Yeah, and I have guests, and I want to talk about old films, sort of perhaps more obscure films. Well, I want to talk about lots of all the things that make up the Shy Life, the Shy Yeti's life. And now, as far as length is concerned, well, hey, I have read a lot of things that said all podcasts should only be 22 minutes long, and to be honest, I'm listening to a lot of podcasts that are far longer than that, and I like all, you know, I like all different sorts of length. Yeah, and so I'm going to see how my show works out, and I probably won't do more than an hour at most, but I might do half hour. I shall see. It may change from episode to episode. I'm going to record quite a lot of material to start with and piece together some episodes in advance so that before I put the first episode out, I already have a few more recorded. Anyway, so I shall move on now, and I may come back to the subject. I may talk more later, but let's see what happens next. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Damius Twinklehorn. I'm an actor. I am here to just discuss with you a number of the films that I was in. You may have seen me in a number of Hammer films during the 1960s. I played a tree during Tickle the Heart of Dracula in 1966, and again I played the back end of a horse during Pick the Nose of Frankenstein in 1968. I must say it was quite a thing, quite an experience. I was also in a number of 70s horror movies, many of them made in Italy. I played a pigeon in Slash the Face of Juliet in 1971, and I was also, I was a stunt double for the main female lead, because I have very delicate ankles. Yes, very delicate ankles for that matter. It's just my little joke. I shall be back soon when I shall talk to you more about my experiences in the movie business. This is Damius Trinklehorn signing out. Bye. I'm sorry, dearie, what is it you wanted to say? Really? Tell me, what do you want? Can I help you? What do you... Really? Did you like the first show that I did?
So, Grizzly, did you know that Damius was there? Right. Well, you don't know Damius as Damius so much as these days he's known as August Evans, but back then he was Damius. Did you know that Damius was there right at the start?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I have a question about something else. When did you lay the egg?
When did I lay the egg? When Albert was first appeared. I'm not sure. I won't say, just in case it was in the first year. It may be that it happened in the first year. If not, remind me at the end and I'll tell you. Episode 1 was called School Days and Shelving Imps, and I spoke to Paul from school in that episode. One of the reasons I started the podcast when I did is that I'd had this bad reaction to medication, and for a year or so, from 2015 to 2016, I had to have my legs bandaged quite a lot, and there were times when I looked a bit like a mummy. And just before I started the podcast, I went through some intensive bandaging, which was the end of my sort of treatment. And then I was able to wear compression stockings and be much more mobile. And at one point, I was having to wear Converse trainers that were about 3 sizes bigger than I usually would wear, just to get them on my mummy feet, because every shoe that they gave me just didn't really work. So I just kind of wore Converse, but just tied myself into them. But it wasn't ideal.
Product placement.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I started doing the podcast as well, is that I thought, well, to get me sort of going out a bit more, because I always wanted to do the podcast out and about if I could. And yeah, that sort of was April 2016 when I had the intensive bandaging. So again, May was soon after. But I remember that the other thing I remember is that I had a conversation with Paul from school about Brexit before it happened, and his opinions were kind of, I'm sure it won't make much difference. And I was like, I'm not sure about that. But I can picture us sitting in this pub garden near a canal, and we also went for a bit of a walk down the canal afterwards, and that's where we recorded his appearances. We did little interviews. Some of it was talking about school days, and yeah, I also talked a bit about Shelving Imps. And I read a sinister piece from my latest book, which probably would have been a Yeti way of thinking, because that sort of came out around this time. I heard more from Damius Trinklehorn, and in the show notes it says that I ask a cat his opinion. I can only think that was Deals, but I don't know. But anyway, let's listen to a clip from that.
Hello. Well, today I am out in the Surrey countryside. I'm here with my friend Paul, who I went to primary school with. Hello, Paul. Hello. Is there anything that you can think of? Any particular anecdotes that are clean? Well, they should be clean. We were only kids, but are there any stories that aren't going to get us into trouble about your time when we were at school together?
Yeah, well, there was that time that I fell down the stairs on my honeymoon, but
you were okay, not at school. You weren't at school then,
no. Well, the first holiday that we went on, not really a holiday. We went to the Brecon Beacons.
Oh yes, we went
Podstock primary school.
Yes, that's right. That was actually my last week of primary education.
Yeah, well, I had two. So the first one, school organised loosely as a holiday in order to get permission from parents. And when you actually got there, it was Starlag 4, and essentially you were there to work and look at maps, and it got to about 8 o'clock in the evening. I was thinking, this is ridiculous.
I do remember
finishing.
I do remember it being quite. I do remember some of the countryside being. I do remember some of it fondly, but I also remember it was one of the first times I'd been away from home, and I remember I think I was ringing my mum. I don't know if I'd done that a couple of times, but I think it had been decided or was decided by the headmistress that no more people calling back home. We're away from home. That's the whole point. And I remember I think I was the last person, and then
in the queue and I was on the phone, and maybe she turned up and she was saying no more calls.
Yeah, she was uncomfortable with people making outside contact.
Yeah, this is true.
Nowadays, you'd sue.
But I remember being quite upset, and I was talking to my mum, and I was being all sort of, oh yes, it's really nice, and being quite sort of, oh, when I put the phone down, I'm not going to be able to call her again. I remember being quite upsetting, and I don't think that, the headmistress really thought about the fact this was the first time that a lot of us at the age of 10 or 11 had been away from home.
Well, that's right. And also, the big difference is this was her idea of what a holiday should be. Whereas, of course, as you get older, you realise actually holidays should be fun and should be things that you wanted.
Well, I suppose they did need to kind of have some sort of learning involved in it, but even so, it was quite traumatic.
I didn't learn anything from it. I learned how much I hate the Brecon Beacons.
I liked it.
Well, I can't remember very much about. We went to a national park, I think.
It was very pretty. I remember the best bit was when we all. Because although the headmistress was there, we had the people who ran the place had authority above her, and we'd been somewhere for a big walk, and they said, when we got back to the van, they said, right, everyone jump in the river, and she was furious about that. She was kind of like, no, they can't do that, and the person in charge was like, I'm sorry, this is I'm in charge. I'm in charge.
Well, and also, from their point of view, they think, well, if you had been around instead of drinking elsewhere, perhaps this wouldn't have happened. But as you chose
I don't know who would have
to absent yourself, you can't really then start complaining about what took place.
I don't know. Because she wasn't actually there, was she?
She wasn't there, and neither was the other teacher.
No, I don't know what would have happened if we'd all been washed downstream, though. But
well, I mean, obviously we can't go into details because of legal reasons, but essentially it was a derogation of duty, and nowadays you'd sue and you'd say, I'm sorry.
We probably wouldn't be allowed to do any of what we did at school.
No, that's right. Yeah. But anyway, that was the first occasion when we were away.
The first time. That episode came out just because I'm not quite sure where I was posting at the very start. It came out about the same day as the pilot, but and then the next episode came out on the 28th of May. So once I started getting into doing them, they came quite quickly. Episode 1 was still short. It was just under 30 minutes long, but I think my aim was always that they would be longer. A lot of the podcasts I listen to are an hour or more long, particularly film podcasts, and even things like Life on the Shit List are usually at least an hour. So I think I was kind of aiming for that sort of length. Episode 2 was called Libraries of All Shapes and Sizes, and that was 39 minutes long. So they're slowly getting longer and longer. I actually recorded this from a library that I worked in at the time. It was 20 years ago that I started working there. It was when I first met Callum and wifey Jo. And my mum appears in this episode. I'd forgotten that she was in the show so early, and she was talking about her library days. I think I decided that this episode was all about libraries. So apparently we also had some listeners' letters, and Damius Twinglehorn was there, and we were also talking about some second-hand vinyl. Any questions at this stage, Grizzly?
How many characters were you planning back then to have in the podcast?
Well, I knew that Cromitty would be there because I'd already done Cromitty in those little segments that I'd sent to Toppy, and Cromitty is a voice from Sudden Park that I know I can still do. I also, as time went on, I got more confident with, I think, the early version of Yeti Uncle John was quite different. Some of the voices I have to do modulation on, and for instance, Bettina Dupre used to be higher pitched, and over the years I brought her down, like Toppy does with Aunt Tappy. He just does it with his normal voice, and I'm getting closer to being able to do that now. But I think the main problem is that if you do too much with pitching things around, it starts to sound slightly weird.
Well, look at me. No one is going to tell him, Charlotte.
But, Ick is a different matter because Ick's so high-pitched that he's an alien, so it doesn't matter too much.
Susan, you have worked out my secret. No, I am not just a mild mannered school teacher. No, indeed, I am the devil. Yes, I will do things to you that nobody has ever done. I'll tickle your feet. Yes. Yes. You will soon regret that you ever tangled with me. Oh yes. Now I am going to hit you with this daffodil. See how you like that. Do not worry. It is me. Darius Twinklehorn. I'm doing some acting. Yes. You didn't know. You thought it was really the devil, didn't you? Anyway, I've got to go. I'm just rehearsing for a new film. It's very exciting. Yes. I think I've got a cold coming though. Anyway, see you again soon. Yes, Suzanne.
Hello, Mum. It's nice of you to join us today. I've got a few questions that I'd like to ask you, and if you'd like to answer them, that would be very good. Thank you. That's very badly introduced.
I will do my best.
Yeah, better than I'm currently doing. Could you tell me what your favourite film is, please? Do you have a favourite film? Or you know.
I'm finding that a bit difficult. A favourite film? Certainly not The Sound of Music. I can be negative.
You can. That's good. That's fine. Is there a particular actor or actress that you like?
Too many to mention.
I hope you're not going to say this. What about a favourite book? Too many to mention.
My mind's gone blank.
Well, one you enjoy.
What's the Mockingbird one?
The To Kill a Mockingbird.
Kill a Mockingbird. That one.
That one.
Definitely.
What about food? What sort of food is your favourite? If you could choose to have a meal now, I was going to make it. Although you wouldn't get to eat it because I'm here and you're there, but there we go. At least I'd have a nice meal.
Something with fish. Even salmon salad would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
You could make that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could do that. Do you have a favourite song?
No.
Sorry, go on.
No.
I know you like. Well, I know one of them you like. You like that Moonlight Shadow. But that by my used to anyway.
Yes, I like the. I like some of the Beatles, some of ABBA's.
And what TV shows? You don't have to be your favourite ones, but what TV shows are you watching at the moment? What can you recommend?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily be able to recommend what I'm watching. I'm watching The Durrells, Marcella, Wallander, Undercover. I wouldn't necessarily recommend any of them.
Do you still have a backlog of going back years of things you're catching up on?
Oh, definitely. Years and years.
and they're all on video, aren't they? Are they still on video? Or are they on discs?
No, both, but mostly on video.
So anyway, that was episode 2. And episode 3, there was a little bit of a gap, but not too much. The next episode came out on the 7th of June. And episode 3, we already were going on international travel. A slightly iffy trip to Amsterdam. It was 52 minutes long. So, yes, I'll read you the little blurb. In our third full-length episode, Mr. Yeti and his flatmate Callum, so that was Callum's debut pretty much, I think, head off to Amsterdam for Callum's birthday. alas, all does not go quite to plan. But there was a lot of chat about holidays gone by, a trip on the canal, and some chatting with zoo animals. We recorded it between 29th of May and the 5th of June. I think it would have been longer, but unfortunately I got sick on that trip. I don't know what happened. I felt really bad because it was the second holiday. I kind of spoilt Callum's 40th because that was kind of just before I realised I had high blood pressure. But I didn't tell anyone that I wasn't feeling well, and I went all the way up to the Isle of Skye or somewhere like that, and felt awful. But I mean, I guess I didn't ruin things too much because I didn't tell anyone. It was an awful trip for me, but Amsterdam wasn't as bad as that. But I did have like a 24-hour bug, and I don't know if it was something I ate, food poisoning, or it was more that I just felt really. Ugh. So I didn't record as much. I've been to Amsterdam quite a lot back in the day, back in the noughties with Dr. Neff. I've been for another birthday trip with Callum, so that was his second trip. I can't remember why he suggested going to Amsterdam a second time, but and I'd also been for Harry's 40th, maybe only a couple of years before. Yeah, that would have been a couple of years before. So yeah, I must have been to Amsterdam. It must be in my top 10 cities that I visited most often. Not as many times as I've been to Venice. But yeah, I remember going to the zoo and kind of remember going on the boat, but I've been on the boat so many times. Yeah, but I guess there was a day or so when I would have been recording when I wasn't feeling up to it. But still, nice to have an international episode so quickly in the series, as it was definitely a sort of thing I wanted to do with the travel. Have you ever been to Amsterdam, Grizzly?
I've never been anywhere.
Yes, you have. You've been to London and you've been to Dublin.
Right.
Amsterdam is fun.
No, I live in Poland, so I can't afford to travel much because my salary is just eaten by the rent, and I live alone, so it's expensive.
It's difficult. I was lucky that I had flatmates to help me, which meant I had more money than I would do if I was paying for everything.
Going back to other birthdays with me, not so much with you, but my birthday holidays before I was 30 were always UK ones, and have been overseas ever since I was 30. Whereas yours have been a bit of a mixture, continued to be a mixture, because depending on where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I remember we went to Canterbury for one of my birthdays. That might be my 29th.
Well, if I remember, it followed on straight after Krakow or Krakow.
Oh no, that was much. You're jumping off. Well, we will come to these. Canterbury was before 30, so
was it?
Yeah.
Well, I thought because it had chucked it down in Krakow, and then we got back and it chucked it down in.
No. You move. It's going to. Oh no. Yeah. No.
Is it Canterbury? Did you say
Canterbury?
Oh, I was thinking of Tunbridge Wells.
Well, we'll come back to Tunbridge Wells.
Oh, I missed the rehearsal. That's what you said in the rehearsal.
Tunbridge Wells is a story in its own right.
Oh, God, I spoiled it.
Yeah, it's fine. Where else? I remember another birthday holiday.
Hastings, yes.
Hastings? Oh, now that could have been my...
That's when you had a go at James for cancelling.
Well, you know... If you do make an agreement, say you're going to do something, particularly when it's my birthday.
Never been forgotten.
I wonder what birthday that might be my 28th or something.
Are you joking? That's where we played
Crazy Golf.
Yeah.
By the seashore. We also went to Worcester. I think. Would Worcester be right? Where is that serial killer from?
Gloucester.
We didn't go there because there had been a serial killer in Gloucester, but it just happened.
That's right.
That we went there, and we nearly didn't get there because the roads flooded. But before we say anything else, we should probably say your birthday is in May and mine is in November, so you usually get better weather, and that's also one of the reasons that I like going overseas on my birthday, because it's not much fun being here in November. So, but yes, Gloucester.
home of the packaging
museum.
and
yes, was it? It was packaging and something museum. Advertising museum.
Yeah,
yes.
by the dock.
That was.
And we did go to Cheltenham races.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, we have been on so many holidays over the years, so we are just going to stick to birthday ones, which I think we've done so far. But in 20 years, we must have. There were some years where all of our holidays were with each other. So, so we will come back and we will discuss holidays after we turn 30. Yes, and we will get to that very, very exciting story about Tunbridge Wells. Coming up later. We have arrived at our destination, Amsterdam Zoo. We are currently watching two ratty-like creatures eating vegetables. I can't say I'm envious. I'm still not back on my food after my stomach bug. Anyway, you certainly wouldn't want to meet one of those on a dark night under your floorboards. There are lots of birds in this part of the zoo. There are flamingos with goodness knows what they've got in there. They've got weed, like whole chunks of weed. Not naughty weed, not smoking weed, like weed, sort of weed that grows in a pond. And there are herons as well. I'm not sure the herons are actually part of the exhibit. They might have just flown in. They seem to be everywhere. I think there are lots of local birds who realise that if you come to the zoo, you probably get a free feed up. So, sitting on the roof of the reptile house, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can see about 10 herons or similar birds waiting to see what the pelicans are going to get fed. If I was more into fish and felt more like eating, maybe I'd do the same, but no, not now, not today. Actually, I wouldn't like to battle with them. They've got sharper bills than I've got. We're in the birdhouse now. I can see some squirrels. The birdhouse is only slightly warmer than our bedroom. Actually, no, our bedroom's probably slightly warmer than the birdhouse. There's some noisy birds in here, but I still feel safer with them than I did with the live monkeys that were running around in the last place we were in. That was a bit weird. Thought they might steal my wallet or, I don't know, try and escape in my hand luggage. There's a chubby miniature owl on a tree in front of me. There are two birds with long beaks who look a little bit like vultures, but I don't think they are. They're busy eating bits of a burnt bush. Yes, it's almost odd. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Is any of this really happening? Episode 4 was called All Manner of New Voices. That came out on June the 11th. And I sort of started talking about making movies in the 90s. And Damius was there. And there was a poem about fish and chips, more talk about vinyl, more library gossip, some messages. Apparently there was a donut. And I also thank Nick and Troby. I'm not sure if that was because they were there or whether there were clips from Sutton Park, because I think there possibly were in that episode. That episode was 54 seconds off being an hour long, so my longest one at the time. But I do have a story that definitely did happen. It's not like any
sort of definite resolution, but it's more what I was asked to do that was particularly strange. I had a phone call from a member of the public saying that they had, I can't remember what the circumstance was now, but they'd witnessed a past life regression, and the person had claimed that they were a certain soldier and had given certain details, and I think the caller may have been a newspaper, like a journalist, anyway, they just wanted, a little bit of research to see if any of these facts made sense or could possibly be true, and I was able to look back in the army lists, and some of the things tallied, some of the things made sense, but not really enough to definitely say, hey, this is really weird, or how do you know this? I could only say what I could definitely identify, and never heard any more about it. But it's definitely an inquiry that stuck with me. I wouldn't mind a few more like that, actually.
It's me, Tammy S. Twinklehorn. I can't stay long. I'm on a film set. I was supposed to be doing another movie. It was called Death on a Low Budget. I was due to be playing the policeman's cat, but anyway, they ran out of money. They couldn't even afford me, and I said I'd do it for free. Anyway, so I didn't do that film, but I'm working on one at the moment called Curse of the Undead Milkman. I play a bottle of milk. I've never done that before. It's different. And, anyway, I've got to go because they're about to do filming. I need to go to makeup. Just trying to channel what it's like to be a bottle of milk. Kind of creamy. Yeah. Okay, more later. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Episode 5 was an hour and 10 minutes, and it was called It's Nice to Be Nostalgic. Harry made his debut in this episode, and I think we talked about a relatively recent trip to Nice. Damius is in this episode. It actually says that Yeti Uncle John is back, so he must have appeared in an earlier episode, but I didn't mention it. So Yeti Uncle John is there, but I think you'll find he sounds a bit different than he does today. Don't know what was wrong with his throat. But, as I say, Harry was in this episode. It was part of a 2-part interview, and we talked about our school days, making films, musical likes, TV likes, and even, like, what TV we were watching at that time. You've met Harry. You've been on the show with Harry, haven't you?
I'm not sure if we recorded some... Oh, yeah, we recorded in that bar when I was first time, but it was super loud around, so it was hard to record anything there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to record because that's the opportunity to record. But, yeah.
Harry. We're not saying certain surnames, it's fine. You don't want to be traced down by marauding fans.
When you say oldest friend, do you mean... Have we known each other for...
you're actually 72.
No,
I've known you for nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
That's why you're one of my oldest...
friends who are numerically older than me.
I have known people longer than you, yes. Paul H.
No, not just that, but they are actually older than me.
Yes, I have older friends.
They're not the oldest friend.
No, you're not the oldest.
So if you've got all of the friends in the row, I wouldn't be the oldest.
But
of them.
If we did a row where they were by height, you'd be near the higher end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. But yes. Anyway, right. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
Welcome to the Shy Life podcast.
Hello.
It's my latest plan of world domination. Not doing that great so far as world domination, but hopefully it's entertaining people. But it's a start. You have to start simple, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm certainly simple. Yeah. Right, so we'd like to tell people how we actually met.
This would be at Bishop Wordsworth School.
Yes, in Salisbury, where we both grew up. We both come from the same town.
So basically, I got in at 11. You were a little bit later.
Because I was stupid. I was
in at
13. Yes. Harry ended up. I can't.
It was that little group of people, wasn't it? It was you, me, and Robin. It was basically we were the only ones that no one spoke to. So it was sort of,
we were our own little clique.
Yeah, little geek clique.
We were the geek clique. Yeah. Well, that's me. I think I led the geek clique in a way because I was the most insistent.
Leading it. What do you mean?
Well, I think I was the most keen that we kept it to ourselves. All I can think of is there were times towards the end when you would have been like to be a bit more sociable with people, and I was kind of like, no, we should stay. I remember our leaving party at school, and you were like, "Oh, let's all go down to the pub and with people." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't like that. These people, we're never going to see them again." So that's what I mean. You were more sociable, and I was more like, "No, we should stay as we are." That's what I mean.
Hello, it's me, your Yeti Uncle John. I was just calling in to say how much I enjoyed your last episode. It was a good one, a really good one. Do remind me again what you were talking about. Yes, of course. You just come back from Amsterdam. Well, I hope you're feeling better. I know you've never had a very good stomach, have you? There's always been issues. But did I ever tell the story of when you wet the bed all those years ago? Presumably. Yes, I believe I may have done. I believe I may have shared that last time. I was actually just calling in to say, had you told the listeners about your poetry show? I believe you're having another one of your little poetry shows. They're always very entertaining, and still, you don't often get pelted with rotten fruit, do you? Not too often, not every time or anything. So that's a good start, because many entertainers do find that is the way that their audience reacts to them. So it's good that that doesn't happen to you. But no, you really should tell the audience exactly when your next show is. It's coming up, isn't it? Coming up in July, the Friday the 8th of July, in Covent Garden at the Poetry Cafe. I'll be there. Oh yes, I wouldn't miss it for the world. I hope you read that. One of your poems that mentions Yeti. I know you do some of them. They're always very amusing. And you often have that John Smallshaw with you, don't you? He's a very good poet. He writes a lot. You write a lot, but he writes even more. He's always there. You should give him a bit more time, I'd say. He could read all evening, and you could just sit there and put your feet up. Not that, I think that's what you should do, but you could do. But anyway, well, I suppose I ought to sign off.
Episode 6 was called Shy Yeti Proudly Presents. It came out at the end of June. And apparently, I was asked to write a musical in this episode. Don't know who asked me. Darius and Yeti Uncle John are there, and they update us on what's going on. Harry also came back to finish his chat with us, and we talked about nights out on the town and holidays we'd shared. I've been to San Francisco, and I've been to Amsterdam, and I've been to Paris, and there have been other holidays overseas. Dublin.
I haven't been in any of them except Dublin.
Yes, I was going to say you've been to Dublin.
We can go for my 40th to Disneyland.
What, in Dublin or in Paris?
Paris, there is no Disneyland.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It'd be good to go to Paris again.
I don't care about Paris, I just want to go to Disneyland.
We have to go to Paris too. I also talked about some old movies that episode and went back into the vinyl vault. Sorry.
Picture the scene. Shy Yeti waits patiently in the reception area of Lords and Ladies Theatrical Publishing Sons & Co. Limited.
You can go in now, sir. Mr. Lords will see you now.
Thank you. Thank you most kindly. Shy Yeti gets to his paws and then enters the office. Mr. Lords, a rather large gentleman dressed as a showgirl, sits on the other side of the table.
Ah, Mr. Yeti, I presume. How delightful to meet you.
No, it's my pleasure, really it is.
I know. Listen now, you may be wondering why I've called you here. Well, I'd be happy to explain. You see, you have been highly recommended to me by my good friend Charlie Gurr. We're in desperate need of a big new West End musical, and apparently you are the one to speak to when an idea is acquired in double quick time. We need something that is already written and that can go to stage within the next few weeks. Our original option has completely fallen through. Charlie tells me that you've got hundreds of unwritten plays and musicals stored away for potential use.
Oh, good gracious, so that's it. I do indeed. For a minute there I thought you called me in to catalogue a book or hypnotise a pensioner or something. I got in terrible trouble the last time I tried that. I didn't mean any harm, only her pet spaniel was complaining that their owner was snoring too loudly. That poor lady. She spent the rest of her days thinking that she was a glam rock star. Of course, the upside was that she did pretty well on the 70s revival circuit. Anyway, it's a relief.
Yes, well, I can see how it probably would be most distressing. Anyway, moving on. Do you think you can help me? You'll be well paid, of course. All the pies you can eat and then more.
Sure. Charlie was right. Yes, it is true about my store of ready-written scripts. I'm pretty confident that I have something that you'll be able to use. I'm really full of ideas. The only thing is...
A lot of your ideas are extremely silly, right?
Well, yes, if not extremely silly, then certainly ever so daft. How did you know?
Mr. Charlie did warn us that this might be the case, but he suggested that there might be something more appropriate for our purposes if you took something that you have meticulously listed in your notebook of finished musical scripts based on slightly dull ideas.
Why, yes, I suppose I could do that.
Shy Yeti takes out his briefcase, which he wasn't carrying earlier, but which he now appears to have with him. He opens it up and takes out a little notebook, which is indeed entitled Finished Musical Scripts Based on Slightly Dull Ideas. Please, Yeti, do share some of your more ordinary thoughts with me, if you will.
Certainly, Mr. Lords, I'd be glad to. But are you sure you really want a slightly dull idea? I wrote a champion synopsis for a musical the other week, my solitary concern being that it's a bit similar to Cats, only my script is about badgers. Badgers who talk, sing, work in supermarkets, have heartbreaks and occasionally embezzle company funds before taking long holidays skiing in Switzerland.
Does sound very interesting, Mr. Yeti, but I still think I'd prefer to see one of your duller ideas.
Oh, very well. So, I have one here all about commuters waiting for their trains to arrive.
Blimey, that is dull.
Well, yes, that is what you asked for.
Yes, fair enough. But is that it? Just commuters standing there?
Well, they are all quite different. The characters, I mean. One of them is a chiropodist.
Oh, yes, a chiropodist, you say. Well, I must admit that this is beginning to sound quite promising.
The big twist is that their trains are delayed.
Ah, yes. I imagine that there are all manner of songs that can be written concerning the trauma of delayed trains. What happens then? Do some of the commuters fall in love?
Alas, no. Their trains never come and they eventually die on the platform and are pecked to pieces by hungry seagulls. It's all pretty tragic when you think about it. I had envisaged it as a comedy.
Well, I see. It all sounds very interesting. Maybe just a tad ambitious.
Well, I'll admit the last 10 minutes when the aliens invade could be a bit on the expensive side to stage.
Yes, indeed. And I'm not sure it's for us. I'm sorry. Would you have something else, perhaps?
Of course. Well, this one might suit you. It's pretty dull, which I know is what you're looking for.
Absolutely. So what exactly does it concern, Yeti?
Coffee shops, actually. Well, a cafe, I suppose you should say. It sells some delicious tortilla and the odd scone or two, has very nice flowers on every table.
That sounds more like set design than a plot description.
Well, yes, although I take it you don't require too much plot.
Some plot, yes, within reason. It's a delicate balance.
Well, this musical involves a gentleman who visits a coffee shop for 3 weeks during a change in his normal routine. This new coffee shop is very efficient, very polite, and they always remember his order.
How splendid. And do they sing some nice songs too?
1 or 2, yes. There's a whole 10-minute sequence where all the cast dress as lattes and dance with some life-size Danish pastries.
Right. And then?
At the end of the 3 weeks, the gentleman decides that he must tell the couple who run the cafe that he won't be coming back because he is no longer robbing houses in that district.
Doing what? He's a criminal? I thought he was a businessman or some such.
Oh no, he's definitely a cat burglar. Actually, a cannibalistic, telepathic cat burglar from Mars. But you needn't focus too closely on all that if it doesn't sit well with you.
Oh dear, really? I do think it's perhaps a little ambitious for West End tastes. I'd like to suggest a rewrite, but we need something ready to go. We just don't have the time. Please, Yeti, you are our last hope here. Might you have something a little more sedate?
Shy Yeti flicks through his little book of slightly dull ideas and stops somewhere near the back, looking thoughtful before he speaks.
I have one here about a lady who doesn't celebrate major religious holidays.
Is she from Mars, this lady? Does she eat people or steal from them?
Not in any draft I've written, she's not. I can assure you of that.
I'm happy to hear it, quite frankly. So what does she do exactly? Just sit there and do the crossword whilst not celebrating any major religious holidays?
That's right, yes. She watches the news and makes a sandwich just before the interval and then speaks to her mother on the phone during the second half. Oh, and obviously it's a musical, so she occasionally hums and also sings. She puts together a shopping list. Although, to be fair, her ability to hold a tune is no great shakes. But you can't have everything now, can you?
Well, no. No, I suppose not. So that's it? There's nothing you haven't told me about the plot?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Except she has flashbacks. The lady, I mean. Her name is Stanley, by the way.
Right. And these flashbacks?
They take her back to her childhood, when she accidentally poisoned the nanny with an off-fish finger, and then set fire to a nun. Oh, and she shoots the vicar in the very last act, but he forgives her before he dies. Only the aliens don't forgive her, and the Earth is destroyed in a terrible cycling accident.
Right. Well, that all sounds fine to me. I was just worried it was going to be another one of your daft ideas.
Oh, no, not at all. I kept that one pretty simple. I call it Every Day is the Same, a story of loneliness.
Yeah. You wouldn't mind if we retitled it Tits, would you? It's just that we need something short and punchy to draw an audience in.
No, sure, that's fine. I think it still sums up the basic ethos of the piece.
Yes, I agree. Well, that's marvellous, Yeti. I think we can do business. Let's shake on it.
Shy Yeti does a little dance, and the whole world applauds. Sadly, some aliens destroy the Earth by belching too loudly, and so, alas, Tits never gets performed after all. This is the end. I thank you for listening. Good night.
So we're into July 2016, and the next episode is called I Just Called to Say Shy Yeti. And we're back to being 56 minutes long. Apparently I catch up with an old friend over the phone and share a couple of dark stories from my blog. I don't know who the special guest is. Don't know. Sometimes I don't like to spoil the surprise, although as most of my guests aren't known to many people other than themselves and me, I don't know that if I had put their names, it would mean anything to a lot of the listeners. Anyway, Yeti Uncle John finds himself lost. Damius Trinklehorn has a challenging new role. We're back in the vinyl vault. We hear what Shy Yeti carries around with him and say a quick hello to an old guest star. Apparently there was a funky tune to dance to. Grizzly, do you ever dance around the living room to music?
No.
Not when you're doing the vacuuming?
No, because I don't hear the music.
No, but not with your headphones on. Yeah.
I'm not wearing the headphones when I'm vacuuming.
That's okay.
Now, I've got 2 more questions. So if you were going to say, what would you say was your greatest skill or talent or asset?
Well,
Well, I mean, for years I had a conceit about writing. It's still one of the most enjoyable pastimes I can think of, but it's not served me well in the last few years, unfortunately. Serving.
Well, I've got one last question. Thank you for answering the ones you have so far, but this is my question number 10. If you could travel in time, where would you travel to? Forward or back, or a particular year, or what would you choose?
Well, I think forward's a bit overrated because you might just die. You might go there. I'm a great believer in the if going to old TV, to Sapphire and Steel goes, it's best not to know, and I'm all for that. I've never taken horoscopes seriously. I'm not saying there's absolutely nothing in them, but I'd rather not know. Definitely past. The biggest, I suppose, if it's within one's own time stream, one zeroes in on those bits that were either really good or were really good, but they could do with a bit of you make mistakes. And I think I go back to 1985 and give myself a good slapping and sort of say, oi, don't bother about facial hair, wear deodorant, and for God's sake, wear some decent clothes. Otherwise you'll never get to, it's all very well wanting people to accept you as you are, but, grow up. I just needed a bit of a snapping. But then, would I have taken it from myself? I was working with somebody older at the time, and I certainly didn't take it from them, so maybe I wouldn't have taken it from myself. I don't know.
That's a good answer. Thank you very much for answering my questions, and next time we speak, we shall speak face to face.
Let's do it again soon.
Yes, we must. Yes.
I'll take the train next time then.
Well, I'll come to you. It's fine. Thank you very much. The next episode is called Looking Back and Looking Forward. And Mr. Yeti catches up with a member of his family, tries to make peace with some grumpy housemates, looks back at Sutton Park. Damius Trinklehorn reports in. I'm still talking about my vinyl. I get very excited about my recent appearance on the Smellcast. And I thank Troby and Harry for allowing me to use Sutton Park clips of them. And apparently my chat appeared on the Smellcast episode 414. Obviously, when you've seen me back in the day on all these old videos, I don't expect you to have watched every one, but I'm sure you've seen me aged about 20-something running around. What does it make you think?
Well, I'm like, hard to say. It's like, oh, it's nice if the young Yeti, but, well, it's a young Yeti, so it's not my type.
Oh. This episode, I've got a little surprise guest for you. So, usually we haven't talked to him directly. Usually we just get a message. He leaves me a message, just chatting away. But I thought we'd actually do a conversation this time. Please say hello, my Yeti Uncle John.
Oh, hello. Hello, everybody. It's nice to be here. I feel a bit shy. Well, you're the one who's shy, though, aren't you?
That is right. I am Shy Yeti, of course. So, Uncle John, what have you been up to recently? Have you been doing anything interesting, or you usually go on holiday this time of year, don't you?
Oh, yes, I usually do go away this time of year, but I don't know this time. I haven't decided. I haven't got any real sort of plans. But, yeah.
Summer holidays coming up. It's not long until I'm going away.
Oh. Well, that's nice. Are you going with one of your friends? Or, what's going on, hey?
I'm actually pretty much going to be by myself. Callum might be coming along just for a day, but I've got a cottage down in Kent. It doesn't belong to me. I've just organised it, and usually I do go away with friends, but I thought it would be nice because the weather's so awful this time of year, or it has been. The last, is it 3 could be 4 summers. I've gone away like the first. Well, it's usually been the first week in August or sort of late July.
Oh yes, I remember.
Oh yeah, I like going to the Lake District.
Oh, the Lake District's lovely. I can understand that. There are lots of things to see in the Lake District.
Yeah, that's why I always thought it was lovely around Keswick, where we usually go. But I went 1 year. I lose track of the years now. But so what? Last year was 2015. The year before 2014. I think it might have been 2012 and 2013. It might have even been the year before that. I lose track of how many times. Sometimes I do the same holiday twice. And last year we went to the Lake District. I went with different friends. In 2012, I think it was quite nice. I think it was okay. You know, some days nice, some days not so nice. And my friend Paul came.
Oh yes, he was on your podcast. You went to school with him, didn't you? Yes. Oh, he's a good talker. He does good talking. He's a funny man.
He is quite amusing, isn't he? Yes.
The next episode is our longest yet, I think. Episode 9, A Yeti Way of Thinking, the show. And, it's an hour and 23 minutes long. And it was the last show I did at the Poetry Cafe, partly because they're beginning to price me out of their market, really. It was costing more and more to hire it for shows. I was using it as a venue, and it was something official that they had on their website, but unlike some of their shows, I guess some of the things they might be financed by the Poetry Cafe, and I'm sure it might be that every show there is self-financed by whoever is running the show. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it became a bit expensive, particularly as I was trying to do it for charity. But anyway, this ended up being my last show there, and it was sort of the end of an era. I'm not sure I knew for sure it was the last show, but I'm really glad that I was able to record at this show for my book, A Yeti Way of Thinking. I only really did 1, maybe 2 poetry books after this anyway. So I had 2 special guests, John Smallshaw, who was my regular collaborator on these poetry shows, and Rich Harris, who was a friend of mine online. He came to read as well. And yeah, and I got to talk to some of the audience, many of them who were friends of mine, and yeah, it's nice to have that one of those shows, because although I've got videos from the shows, they are more videos of me performing. This sort of gave a slightly different perspective, because I was able to sort of record behind the scenes too.
This is called Becoming More Cat-Like. I'm becoming more cat-like as time shuffles on. I'm beginning to wonder quite where I belong. Yes, the branch of a tree or a spot by the fire seems a sort of snug place for this lad to retire. As I stretch out my paws and dream sweet dreams of fish, with my breath tuna fresh, I need food in my dish. Still I have to consider the fact now just that I simply don't have 9 lives. No, I'm not yet a cat. I'm becoming more cat-like as time passes by. When it comes to catnip, I've never been shy. I'm beginning to get me a definite purr. I've no shame when I lie back to flourish my fur. I've found me a nice post to get me a scratch. For the hound who's next door, I'm hardly a match. On my red velvet cushion I'm happily sat, every day getting rounder and more like a cat. I'm becoming more cat-like as months turn to years. I've a twitch in my whiskers, a flea in my ears. With one eye on my bowl and the swish of my tail, my attempt to catch mice, it is destined to fail. But with the fierce local Tom, I got into a ruck. In the cat flap, my head got unfortunately stuck. Yet I find every day life so decidedly flat, as each week I grow steadily more like a cat. I'm becoming more cat-like. I really don't mind. To exist as a person is simply a bind, yet the dull daily grind is the ultimate bore, and from now on those ways I will simply ignore. I will sharpen my claws and most plaintively mew. I will bid my farewell to the commuter belt queue. I'll just lie on my back, let you wobble my fat. Oh, how could I regret time now, when spent as a cat? Thank you very much. Right, we're going to have a break for 10-15 minutes, and then... Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see you in about 10-15 minutes.
We'll have a quick cigarette.
lovely.
We've got a surprise guest here, Beverly from work. Hello, Beverly from work.
Hi, Paul. Hello, everyone.
You were that was a surprise. I didn't see you come in. You were suddenly there.
Oh, that was so nice. I love that cat one.
Yeah.
I love that. And I like time.
Yeah.
I think time is such a real thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Such a real thing. Like 1 minute, I was looking at myself the other day. I was thinking, God, under my eyes are getting like really wrinkly. Where did those wrinkles come from? I don't remember having those.
Have you still got the receipt? I'm sure you can. I'm sure we can get a refund, can't we? Ask for it back.
Yeah. How's it been going?
Good. Yeah. Yeah, it's hot.
Hi, Callum.
How you doing?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Hello, Callum. Callum's here too.
Hi again, Paul.
I haven't seen him since at least this morning.
Since this morning.
What is the highlight?
I didn't see you this morning.
Oh, you didn't? I think I shouted at you. For not nastily. I think I just said bye.
Cat one's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that, and I really like time.
I wish Dealey could be here. Dealey could be sitting. He could have a little. Oh, he is here. Yes. Dealey's on the poster. Dealey's on the poster.
Yeah, he hasn't done a basket.
No, he wouldn't like that.
No.
Oh, really?
He hasn't had to go to the vets for ages. So.
He just panic.
Yeah.
He's just.
Hello again, Ali. How's it going so far?
Oh, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. It's a good laugh.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. So I'm enjoying listening to the new stuff.
You've come a long way today. You've come a long way.
Well, yeah, because I came all the way up yesterday, then went all the way back, and then came all the way back again.
It's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and it's not my car, so it doesn't matter. I can put as many miles on the clock as I like, which is nice.
Yeah. Hello, listeners. It's me again. I've just found a quiet spot. I'm still in here in the Poetry Cafe. Everybody else is sort of we're taking just a break, and I really need to get in my dressing room. I wanted to change my baseball cap. I know you can't see it. Usually I have a red top hat that I wear, and because I'm going to Salisbury to see my family and friends, I didn't want to have. I've got so many other things because we're going to be converting old tapes that we did in the 90s, and so in my bag I've got all the stuff of that. I've got clothes, I've got things that I want to take back, so I've got a lot of luggage. I just didn't want to take the top hat as well because I thought it would get damaged possibly, so instead, rather than a red top hat, there were two hats that I bought in Amsterdam when we were in Amsterdam. They're really kind of red. They've got dots, polka dots. They're both red as well. So it's my sort of concession to not having the top hat this time. So I've been wearing one of them and I want to swap. But there's somebody in my dressing room. Okay, it's not a dressing room. It's the toilets for people with wheelchairs and things. But there's somebody in the I don't know who it is. I didn't see anyone with a wheelchair or anyone that might need to use it, but supposed to be my dressing room. Oh, here you come now. Oh, hello. Don't I recognise you?
Hello, it's me, Damius Twinklehorn. I've come to see your show. I was just checking out your wardrobe.
Hello, Damius. Gosh, first time we met face to face. I don't really have much there as far as costumes are concerned. You must be quite used to costumes and things, all the acting and stuff you've been in.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've done a lot of acting, as you know. I've mainly played trees, though, of late, and you don't seem to have many clothes in there, in your dressing room that involve trees or leaves.
No, I'm just reading poems tonight. I'm not dressing as a tree, as much as nice as it probably is. But how's the whole Cat Hamlet thing going? And I suppose that was a few weeks ago now.
Oh yes, well, you know, it does get quite confusing. I've been having troubles because they want me to, they really want me to mix all of my talents together.
Ah, yes, I remember you saying, yes, they want you to do Cat Othello, but dressed as a tree and in the shape of 1960. Oh, it does sound very confusing, but anyway, have you enjoyed the show so far?
Oh, yes, I saw that John Smallshore. He was very good. And there's that young gentleman, that Mr. Richard, with the smart beard. He was good too.
Yes, well, they are very good. They're both very good. It's the first time that Richard has done anything like this. I'm really proud of him. It was very nice of him to come to the show, and I've got his book. And what did you think about? Have you heard any of my poems?
Oh, yes. You know, they were very nice. A bit strange, but very nice. You ought to write a poem in cat, so that, you know, so that some of your cat listeners might better understand what's going on.
I will consider that. Well, actually, I'm really much getting to the dressing room, so perhaps I'll see you at the end of the show. And, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right, for sure. Okay. Bye now. Thank you.
Bye now, thank you. Thank you. I won't be long. Right, just going into the dressing room. I'll leave you now, listeners, because I just need to change my hat. And, you know, a man needs a bit of patience, a bit of time to himself when he's changing his hat. The next episode was episode 10, Back in Yeti Manors. Well, after that Poetry Cafe show, I think Ali, Nick's wife Ali, had her car. Well, either she had her car and she drove us home afterwards, or we got the train back together afterwards, and I stayed in Salisbury that weekend. So Yeti Manors was recorded in my home village. Nick got to be on the show properly, did a little tour of my village, and Nick and I talked about the films we'd made. And my mum showed us a strange plant that was growing in the garden, so she's back again. And there were some poems that were left over from the recent show. Yeti Uncle John was there, Damn Mr. Uncle Horn was there, and yeah, there was also some music. I think that might be when I dug up the Shy Yeti song, which I'd used on my videos. And for a while, well, it still appears in some form, even in today's episodes. But yeah. That episode was an hour and 38 minutes, so we're now kind of into the sort of normal length episodes, or as they are these days. Going back to what you were saying about preserving the moment and stuff, when I used to watch Dark Shadows, which I was doing around the time we were making Sutton Park, I always liked the episodes that were set in the 60s more than the episodes set in the past, because I'd like to see the fashions, I'd like to see the hairstyles, the music, and you know, when they put on fancy frocks, I went back into the past. You know, stories were good, but I was, you know, waiting for them to come back to 1969 so I could see the latest awful, like, strobe-inducing frock that somebody was. I'd just like to say I didn't wear that many strobe-inducing frocks in Sutton Park because I wasn't allowed to. But
that brings me neatly on to what's probably a bit of a bugbear with me. It's that dreaded word dated. Which people use in a derogatory term so much when old TV comes up. Oh, it's dated. Oh, that's dated, and everything. And they have a go at the fashions, which I think is ludicrous. And it's a shame that we can't actually celebrate the fact that, you know, that was of its time, and it's a snapshot. It's a cultural snapshot.
Well, I always liked films where, you know, these days it's chop, quick,
yeah.
and you know, that has its place. But I was just partly because the way I was filming it, and I didn't have that sort of editing.
I did lots of slow pans at the end of scenes, but then you actually get to look around and see things.
Yes, you do.
And
that goes for professional things as well. I mean, I don't like the chop thing all the time, because I much prefer the more sedate, old-fashioned way of storytelling and filmmaking and TV making. And also, I mean, where's it going to end? I mean, just is somebody going to wake up and say that's not quick enough, and we will get all our entertainment on a subliminal blur, not subliminal, subconscious blur, so that enters into the part of the brain we can't reach. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's nothing to do what people are conditioned to. It's not, people didn't write into the filmmakers and say make it quicker. Or it's the filmmaking making it quicker, and inevitably we've watched so much old TV. It doesn't really affect us, but when we do, it becomes. I'm always rather taken aback when people say that.
Our last episode of July was called Oh Julie. It was a chat with Callum's sister, who has had a very interesting career in life, and she was talking about that. She was briefly working as my manager, but that's another story altogether. We recorded that episode in the gardens opposite my work, because there was a private garden I had the key for.
When I wrote my book, I was 12,000 words in, and I decided I wasn't writing it the right way, so I deleted it completely and started again. Now that thought would horrify most people, because I think if you've been to university, word count is everything, and word count tends to be more important than content sometimes, which of course it shouldn't be. But of course, if you've ever lost an essay and had to start again, you'll know your second one was always better, because your brain has processed a lot of what you're writing. You've thought a lot more, and you're able to suddenly have a different way of looking at something you kind of knew in more of an instinctual way. A lot of my book is about how your brain kind of deals with this stuff and how you can prepare yourself to speak, both with mind and with body, and getting the two working together, which is the way that works for me. And I said to everybody who reads my book, or who I work with as a confidence coach, this may not work for you. Other people will tell you stuff and it's different, and that may work for you. And that's the point, really, that there's lots of different ways to choose. A lot of the advice that's given by public speaking coaches, I disagree with completely. I completely disagree with videoing yourself and watching it back. I completely disagree with practicing in front of people, because in both cases, the people you practice in front of are not your audience, so they may give you the wrong feedback. And if you video yourself, you will edit out things about yourself that you don't like, which has got nothing to do with your audience. While I was doing media training about 20 years ago, I was told that when you're doing your speech or whatever, if people that know you well are like putting their fingers down their throats in a mock throwing up because they're so embarrassed by what you're doing, you're getting it right. Because it's not for people that know you, it's about being a channel for a message and reaching people who you need to reach. And that's, to me, that's like obvious, but to many people that's a leap of the ego that many people struggle with. And a lot of the people who I help, it's an ego problem, and I don't mean that in like a big-headed, they're not big-headed, it's they're very caught up in how they think others perceive them. And when you can let go of an obsession with how others perceive you and just focus on serving them and channeling to them, you will be so much better as a public speaker and so much more effective. And I have the great honour, because I've been doing public speaking for 20 years, of people come up to me and say, oh, I heard you speak at such and such 15 years ago, and because of what you said, I do things differently now. And that's exactly what I'm trying to achieve. And that goes back to that other thing about the long game. People expect to have training and instantly be better. Well, that's hypnosis, and I don't do that. It's about honing skills. This seems to get forgotten these days. 100 years ago, when people had a job, it was a job for life, and they honed the skill. And every conversation I have, every interview I give, this interview is me honing my skill of doing this kind of thing. And so the more you go out there and do it, the more you put yourself in danger, especially when you don't want to, the better that you will get. So I'm pleased that one never knows when you write a book what good it does, because we're terrible at giving feedback So I'm pleased that somebody has enjoyed it or got something out of it. I'm pleased to hear that.
So, Grizzly, before we continue, any questions? How can I help?
Do you have a time machine?
I am in the process of making one. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know when it's done. So next up, we're into August 2016, and we're on episode 12. And who should appear but Wifey Joe for the episode "My Wife and the Poet"? Another episode over an hour, and we spoke to Wifey Joe. We also spoke to Rich Harris, who'd been my guest at the Poetry Cafe. I was also hoping to get him on more. We had a third episode planned, which fell through, and then I think things changed and it became harder to record with him. He had a book out around that time called Dark. So that was the beginning of a new, with Wifey Joe being the beginning of a guest who we'd hear from many times.
I was going to ask about your pets. We have different sorts of pets, but we both like pets.
We do.
What's your pet's called?
This is starting to sound like a really bad date. I just want to point that out. We are well past the bad dating stage.
Yeah.
We're now on to the acrimonious divorce.
I think we should go for a walk with your dog and do a podcast whilst we're going for a walk one day.
Do you really?
I don't know, maybe it's not a good idea.
Yes, I can imagine, yes. Tommy would probably like it until he would think, what are you doing? So yes, I have two dogs at the minute. I have two Border Terriers. One's called Tilly, and she's 5 in November, and the other one is Tommy, who is 2 in September.
And they're the cute type of dog, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know what flavour they are, but they look very pretty and handsome.
They're small and brown, but like my husband.
And I've got Dealey, who the audience has already met because he's meowed into the tone on a number of occasions. And on one occasion when he wouldn't, I meowed for him. It's a bit like, it's the opposite of why have a dog and bark yourself, or why have a cat where you kind of gonna have to meow yourself if you want him to do it on cue.
Yes, exactly. Because a cat won't. The dogs are a tad more biddable.
Yeah. So, tell me about your new book, Dark.
So this is a collection of dark writings and dark poetry. I started writing funny poems and kids poetry in the last sort of 10-15 years or so. And then I don't know if it's just due to a recent breakup that I had where all this darkness came from. So I had a few poems, I didn't really have anywhere to put them. So I started this blog, and it's a good space to have just that genre. And then before I knew it, I was spilling out my heart, and all this darkness came out, and it was enough for a collection, not a book, I'd say more of a collection of poems. And I just didn't want them to stay in the computer and just gather dust, so just like put it on a book and get it out there and see what happens with it. It's been nicely received, which is good. Got some nice words back.
Episode 13 was called Obscure Cult TV and Other Oddities. And this episode 13, I recorded this, I think, in Winchester in a pub with Troby and Lisa. And we talked about Doctor Who and making movies together. But I think the most important thing that happened during this episode, they enjoyed it so much. That they started their own podcast around the archives, which, well, it's still around today, but not quite as regular as it used to be, but it was a regular show for many years. And I did articles, sometimes by myself, sometimes with Toppy, even once with my mum, around the archives. And Lisa and Troby also appeared many more times after this. But sadly, Grizzly, your association with the Shallow podcast sort of had the opposite effect on your YouTube channel, didn't it?
Well, it's not because I started podcasting. It's more like, my work started being more demanding, so I had less time. And, if I'm guesting the Shy Life podcast, I don't have to edit everything or think about script because we are improvised. And, if I was making my video, for example, about Power Rangers, which were like the most viewed one, then I had to prepare the script, which it could took me like 2 weeks, then record it, then edit it. So it could take up a month. And it was a lot of hours, and it was turning into second job. So well, I had to drop it.
Yeah, I mean, I know quite a few people who are very keen on podcasting, but they haven't really got the time for the editing side. So or perhaps they've got their own show and they've said, yes, I'd happily be involved with another show, but please don't expect me to edit it because that does take a long time.
You know, if I didn't have to work, then my channel would be still around. I mean, it is still around because I never deleted it, but and I checked some statistics the other day, and people are still watching it, so it's still rolling.
Yeah, people still watch my Showgetting on Location videos, which are over 15 years old, and I guess also doing your own show, it was less of a social thing for you because you were doing it, but you didn't have co-hosts or
I was doing everything, like graphic for thumbnails, recording, editing, watching the source material, cutting the source material, so that was a lot.
When I did my YouTube videos, I was getting out and about, and I was maybe on a holiday and had people to help with being my cameraman. It was a much more social thing, and I think that gave me the enthusiasm. I did it for 2 or 3 years, and it was kind of being sick and also the change of technology that sort of slowed me down. Yeah, a lot goes on behind the scenes, listeners, with all these shows, whether they be podcasts, whether they be video casts or video shows. It takes a lot of people's time.
Do you have any particular memories of the? We were talking earlier about you being chased around a maze with a axe on a string, or no, someone was chasing you with an axe floating
it was meant to be a disembodied axe, but it was in fact an axe on a piece of string. I was being chased by a Crystal Palace maze, much to the amusement of other people coming the other way, wondering what the hell I was up to. I seem to remember, because we were at Crystal Palace and you got the big transmitter there, it was affecting your camera as well, so I'm not sure. I think it affected the
There was
picture.
a buzz on the soundtrack or the picture or something.
I also didn't obviously do as much as Andrew, because it wasn't as random as much, but I did do one where I had a radioactive coat or something.
Oh, I've not heard that one.
I had a silver coat and it was radioactive, and I can't remember how that worked out. I do remember, I think I was in a relationship with George, or I adopted him or something.
The
Santa
the
Claus.
Santa, the inflatable
Not
Santa
the real
Claus.
George. Hello, George, if you're listening. That's the real George, not Santa Claus George, of course.
The Santa Claus George was real.
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean.
Hello, Lisa, it's me.
Oh, George, you're here.
I'm George, the Santa Claus.
Goodness, you shrunk.
Oh, this is awkward, isn't it?
I've always thought of you. Always do.
That's all
George, don't do that.
That's all that really sticks out. Yeah, that's all that really sticks out. I don't really remember.
But it's not all that's sticking out now. George, put it away.
I do remember why we were filming the Blake 7 thing that we did, which was never released and has been lost in the archives. I got told off because I was doing something in the background when I should have been quiet. We were acting and we were making a bit too much noise while they were trying to film something.
I'm acting, dear.
My next episode was episode 14, Forgotten Treasures. I think I shared with you a few things that I've been meaning to share with you, maybe including a sketch that I've written, and also maybe some mentions on other people's shows, including something from the show Greetings from Nowhere, which was another 548 show that ceased to exist, but then came back again and is still going to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really writing a lot of poems at the moment. I'm writing bits for my blog, but those are mainly prose pieces. The chubby cherub here, he's a chubby cherub and he's rather quaint, but he kissed me quick last Sunday, so he ain't no saint. He's been sending me rude emails when he thinks no one can see, but I've been retweeting them to Mother with a certain psychopathic glee. He is completely unaware he thinks that no one even guesses. We all know he turns invisible just to look up ladies' dresses. I like that one. I'm going to have to do this one. He's a chubby cherub, but he's rather bad. He's been mud wrestling with llama, even though he's like for clad. I don't know about that bit. I think we'll have to write that bit.
Oh dear, yes, I think I might keep that one. Even white nights have grey days. That's from 21st of February 2014. Even white nights have grey days. Even experts can act like beginners. Even strange folk who live life on diets sometimes snaffle up secondary dinners. It's never easy when out helping maidens or odd princes who may be in need, because there's only so much you can help them if their hair has begun to recede. There's only so much kind assistance they can take to their own sorry hearts. And then I haven't got another line after that. And then I have another bit. Romance is over before that it starts. That rhymes with hearts. They do all they can, do their bestest. I did write a poem called Her Night in Pink Lame, which was kind of inspired by my relationship with my boss, in that people kind of picked on her. I would always jump to her support, and it really annoyed me that sometimes she let people walk over her when she shouldn't have done. They shouldn't have been speaking to her like that. So I support her, and I like the idea of somebody pink and fluffy being someone's knight in shining armour. This is almost a finished one. I wonder, did I even incorrigibly incorrigible? I think I finished that one. I think that I don't know. I'll have to check that. I'm not sure. That looks finished. I can't remember if it was in my last book, because that last book was written over such a long time. The Bear Who Leaked Crumbs. I might come back to that one. A Mine of Information. My Bijou Teepee. My Bijou Teepee, so tall, so classy. It's made to measure, rather classy. God. Every day is a time of your life. That's almost finished. I should probably just push the boat out and finish a couple of these. I Don't Know You At All. That's a lot of these are, 2 verses in and just need one more verse. I may print them up and have a go. New Clothes for Those in the Know is another one I've got here. I don't know. That looks like it's a short story. Anyway, I should probably wind this up now, and maybe if this hasn't totally bored you, I may have another dip into my email archives at some later stage. I'm going to finish with the first 2 verses of this poem called The Bear Who Leaked Crumbs from February 2014. The bear who leaked crumbs, he ate far too much cake, as it came out of his ears every time he did bake. He always took far too much, did that Ursine so greedy, leaving crumb trails about, never swept up. Indeed, he would often encourage his nice friends the mice to come out for a nibble. They'd be there in a trice. It could be kind of hard if you're a bear who is leaking to find the best way ahead or to decide what you're seeking. The bear who leaked crumbs, he ate far too much pie, which contained bacon bits, yes, and meats you might fry, but the crust on the top has the texture of wood, so you're spitting out splinters. That ain't gonna be good. But that bear doesn't mind. He will eat a large helping. He will gobble it down without wincing or yelping, but he forgets what he's like, that his body is leaking, that his nose just dropped off and his whole body's creaking. Yeah, I don't know. I left myself speechless with that one. It's just silly, isn't it? Just very silly. I will try and finish it, and if I do, I shall read you the full thing. Very odd, Yeti. You're a very odd Yeti. Anyway, right now, episode 15 was the first proper, a 2-part appearance. First appearance of Toppie Smelly from the Smellcast and Life on the Shit List, and it was sort of returning the favour of, like, I've been invited on his show, he came onto mine, and of course it was the start of him appearing very often on the Charlotte podcast, and we've been able to do all sorts of things with our shows and the characters from our shows over the years. I'm so glad that we've been able to make it a regular thing. But this was the first appearance, and we chatted about all manner of podcasting business, compared notes on various projects, Toppie also got to speak with another show regular, but I'm not sure which one. And then episode 16 was the second part, and it was called Toppie Smelly Rides Again. And we were talking about Dark Shadows. And also, Toppie told a funny anecdote about, because we were all on Pride 48 live weekend, where you do your show live. Toppie had a coughing fit during one episode. There was nobody there to take over from him, and he had to sort of turn it into... I guess we were talking about the sort of problems that can happen when you do live broadcasts, which at this stage I was only just about to start doing, and ended up doing quite a lot. But we'll come to that later. We talked about all sorts of things. You've done quite a few episodes now with Toppie as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm still disappointed you let me to be in an episode in the first year.
You're cross that I didn't invite you to be a guest in the first year of the podcast.
Yes.
Even though I didn't know you.
So?
This is, well, when I invent the time machine, then I'll do that. But then the ripples of time could be very much affected.
Well, if you turn back to time to 2016, you can just tell me to move out to UK SAAP, so I avoid the Brexit that I could live there.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't invite you before I knew you. So you did films as well. What were they just one-off things, or?
Well, let's see. I got the first of all, my parents had done home movies, and so had my grandparents. And at the time, what was used was called 8mm film, and it would come in reels. And your 8mm camera was hand cranked, so it didn't run on batteries or anything. You would crank it to wind I guess it was a spring. I'm not sure. It must have been a spring. You would wind the spring tight. You would somehow thread that goddamn film through the right parts of the camera, doing it in as dark a place as you could, because light would spoil the film. And somehow you'd thread that thing, and if you were lucky, you'd do it right. And you'd close it up. You'd put the cover on, and then you were ready to go. But such, talk about, because the film was expensive, or it seemed expensive at the time, and it was only like 3 minutes of film. And it just seemed like it was very costly. But I bet you it was, I don't know, $3 a roll or something. And so we would occasionally have movie nights where we'd show these old home movies. And, most of it was what you would think. It's this person's birthday. Oh, look, it's Christmas. Oh, look, it's another birthday. Oh, look, it's Halloween. It was that kind of thing. But then, in the middle of one of these films, was my uncle out in the yard. And he was moving all over the yard without walking. And I said, who the? And my father said, oh, yeah, I remember doing this. I put the camera on a tripod, and we animated him zigzagging all across the yard. And I said, what the? And so my father explained it. Well, on this camera, there's a single frame release. Anyways, that's how I learned that, oh my God, I could take that camera and make movies. My own. I don't have to record Christmas and birthday. I could actually do, so that's how it all started. And I was very, very interested in monster movies. And so before we even thought of filming, we were putting on plays, and one of them was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And we thought, well, if we're going to do a movie, let's adapt our Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to the film. So I got out the camera and we did it, and There was just the two of us. Occasionally, we'd have to ask a parent to come in and hold the camera because if there's two people in a scene, well, somebody's got to be the cameraman.
Hello? Hello? Who's this on here?
Oh, this is Tappy Smelly. Who's this?
Oh, the Tappy Smelly? This is Darius Kringlehorn.
Oh, Debbie! Oh my goodness! This is quite. I talked to Paul's uncle not too long, and then here you are. Well, this is like old home week. I've heard you on his podcast.
Oh yes, I like to tell him how my acting is going. May I ask you a question?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Do you ever have any parts on the Smellcast that may be of use to me? I mean, I'm very good at playing trees.
Oh, a tree! Yeah. Well, that's right. I mean, you are always talking about your latest gig. A part on the Smellcast. Yeah. A tree. Well. If you were a tree, Damius, what would you? I mean, how would you sound if you were a tree? Oh, I get it. You're like rustling. Your leaves are rustling in the wind.
I can be a telephone. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, well, that's good because there's a need on the Smellcast for lots of telephones. People are calling each other all the time. Let me hear that ring one more time. Let's try that one more time.
Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, that's a sweet ring. I can tell you've had a lot of acting experience. That is a good phone. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I think that also I could do this one. You might guess what this one is.
Is it a tea kettle? It's like the stain coming out of the tea kettle.
It was my creaky door.
Oh, no, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. You sounded it's just exactly like a creaking door. I could just see the door opening in my mind. Yeah.
What about this one? Tell me what you think this one is.
Oh, of course. That's a like the chiming. No, of a clock. No, it's your drum. It's a the bum bum. Yeah, it's like a drum.
That was my motorbike.
Oh, that's what I meant. No. I didn't. Drum in America, we say drum when we mean motorbike. So don't worry. It's just one of those things. Yeah, that was an excellent. That was a good motorbike. Wow, that's that was good.
Oh, thank you. I've got one last one. I think Paul might be coming back, so I'll just do my last one.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Moo. Moo. Moo.
Oh. Now, see that. A cow, of course. Excellent.
That was my sheep.
Oh, no, God. Well, in America, we call sheep cows. Don't worry about it. It was a wonderful, it was a sheep. It was like, oh my God. It was fine. It was great. I'm sure there's a place that we can use you on the Smellcast. I just know it.
Episode 17, which came out in August. We dropped back down to under an hour for this one. It's called Taking Over the Airways. It's recorded behind the scenes on a local hospital radio show that my friend Tim where he used to have his regular show on there. And I've gone through different stages of appearing on Tim's show, and then sometimes there'd be gaps. I went on in the early noughties when I was starting to do my poetry books and would read poems. And then when I was doing my Shy Yeti on location videos, I started going on and recording whilst we were doing the shows. So there were videos of us doing the shows. And then when I started doing the podcast, I sort of got in touch, and then I started going on and reading poems again, but recording it for the podcast. And also Yeti Uncle John and some others sometimes used to come along or join in with the quizzes. Sadly, Tim doesn't do that show anymore, but yeah, there are quite a few episodes in the first few years that are set on Radio Way, and yeah, that was fun, making the videos and doing the podcasts on the radio. The only thing I had to be careful of was copyright clearance, because even recently, when I've been rearranging or putting the episodes on YouTube's very sensitive to songs, even if they're slightly in the background or just slight.
Tell me more.
It's a little bit ridiculous, because you're really not interested in the fact that it's a bit like there being a wedding and somebody who's just a guest in the background. It becomes the most important part of the day for somebody or something. It's completely inappropriate that just because there's a little bit of music that blares in the background suddenly that's almost a copyright strike. Or I'm I didn't want that to happen. Unfortunately, it happened when I was recording. I don't quite know why these things think that it's all about them. But did you have the same problem?
Yeah, but my problem were more complex because I didn't have any background music, because I was recording at my home, so there was no music in the background. But when I was trying to do like a review of super old anime from 90s or even 80s, and I was trying to put an opening video or some scenes, if that was like more than 8 seconds, the copyrights were just striking, so I had to edit out everything and re-upload like multiple times, so that was annoying. That's one of the reasons I was doing very rarely videos about anime. I was doing a video of anime versus games, where I was just putting the videos from my gameplay, so those weren't copyright. But if I wanted to use a scene from anime, it was already a problem. So, well,
yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, really. And you're doing a show about a program that's 30 years old. I know it's something that's still going on in different forms, but they should still be glad that anyone wants to talk about their show. It's not like a lot of these shows that people talk about. It's not like they're wonderful works of art. That they are fun little shows that are made for kids that have a big following, like Doctor Who to a certain extent, and all these shows. They should just be glad for the free publicity. I mean, it's different if you're making money from your show about them, but most people aren't trying to make money out of their shows. They just love the shows, and then you're having to deal with that sort of rubbish. It's like, oh, for goodness sake, maybe we won't talk about your show after all. It's just not worth worrying about. But I don't know. Some podcasts seem to get away with it as well. I don't understand the podcasts that get away with playing whole songs by famous people, and you think, did you not get banned for life for using that song? How did you get away with that? I don't.
Yeah, it's always.
And then maybe we do something where a song appears very briefly in the background, but we're talking over it as well. That's quite clearly the music was completely irrelevant. Doing a show at a radio station, it's difficult not to catch some music in at some point in the background that it wasn't intentional, but it's very difficult to avoid. And I thought it would make an interesting.
Yeah, and in
podcast.
theory, you can always challenge the YouTube and make them unclaim their claims. But it's always like, oh, if you do it a lot and your claims will be rejected, we can permanently delete your channel and
Yeah, and
spy. So it's like,
I don't think I've ever had complete bans or anything from little snippets. But I've had, oh, you won't be able to monetize this episode anymore, which I wasn't going to do anyway, or offers to we'll blank that bit of the episode. And theoretically, there's supposed to be a thing where it can now blank the music in the background out of the way, so you just hear your voice, which is perfect, which is what I would have wanted.
Yeah.
If I could have done that when I did the episode, that's what I would have done anyway. The worst ones were when I did things on GarageBand, making music with copyright-free loops. Theoretically, there's no copyright, but unfortunately, some people at some point had obviously made songs using similar loops. Presumably, when I made music with copyright-free loops, I would use a few and blend it all together. So what YouTube was probably doing was it recognized certain loops. The music, the finished song would probably have been completely different. Presumably, the person who put the song on there had claimed it was their own. So YouTube was like, "Oh, you've stolen this piece of music from somebody." Well, I don't know how it's possible to steal something that's been given to me for free by Apple. So I had to write to them and say, "No, this person hasn't got the right to claim that this is their work. They have used copyright-free loops, which is free, and I have used copyright-free loops in a different order. They can't claim the ownership for those loops because." Anyway, I think hopefully it was allowed, but it's a lot of work, listeners. Sometimes, a lot of things going on, as I say, in the background.
Resident poet Paul Chandler here, or Shy Yeti, as he likes to be called. Oh, Gladys. That's a. Oh, she's giving him a kiss. Oh, isn't it? Are you right there?
Have anyone got a towel? It's very kind.
Oh, right. Do you want to step up to the box?
Yes.
Gladys. So later on, dear. Yes.
Right. This is called Piccadilly is a Rubbish Circus. Piccadilly is a rubbish circus. Heck, where is the fire eater? Oh, where is the lion tamer? I cannot even spot a cheetah. Oh, where are the madcap jugglers in all their pomp so very fine? Oh, where are the creepy clowns whose sense of humour's so divine? Where is the big top celebration, so very droll yet rather silly? There's really nothing much of note along the streets of Piccadilly. Trafalgar is a rubbish square. I'm not convinced it isn't round. I feel for sure it lacks all merit, that nought of interest there be found. Yes, Nelson's column stands so tall, but tell me now, what does it do? It isn't even interactive, nor made of jelly through and through. I hear it's meant to simply sit there, in memory of our noble past. Just knock it down to build a cafe, 'cause coffee cravings also last. Covent is a rubbish garden. I cannot see a single tree. Only endless sways of tourists. Yes, far too many, you'll agree. Oh, the Court at Earl's is hopeless. It cannot even call a trial. And Hyde Park is not in hiding, because the Serpentine's in style. So many places in this city are either dull or muck-encrusted. Piccadilly is a rubbish circus. I fear dear old London town is busted.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Gladys liked it as well, actually. Yeah, so she did. She's up at the bar now. She can't get anything.
Episode 18 was called We Are Family, Meet B Bumble. This was another hour and a half episode, and I was recording it with my brother and my niece. I also shared a new prose piece called Butterfly Honey. At this point, I've not seen my brother or my niece for 3 years, and she was very into being in the podcast at this stage. So she was about 11 or 12 when we did this episode, I think. Yeah, trying to do the sums, sorry. She was very keen on being on the podcast around this time. She is a bit more discerning these days. It's hard to get her agent to allow her to be on things. So, but yeah, we did quite a lot of recording at the age of 12, 13, 14, whatever. And you can still hear her voice in the end of the episode. The sound collage that I use for the show, it sort of dates back to that sort of time.
I'm listening to lots of metal at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Copper?
Aluminium. Actually, I'm working for a company that makes super alloys, so
steel
make parts for aeroplanes and gas turbines and things like that.
So what music you listen to?
Yeah, I'm listening to Gallows, Great Britain, quite a bit. Gore by the Deftones, their new album. I've been listening to Let Live's new album, which is very good. Weezer's new album is actually really good as well. I think it's the White Album.
Every time I want to buy something new, I'm about to buy it, and then I realise I've got it for free on Amazon Prime. And I was going to read you what I've been listening to, but then I realised that when I just did that, it stopped recording. So,
well, I've been listening to a podcast, That's Not Metal podcast, and at the same sort of time, I got Spotify Premium free. So when they recommend an album, and I think I like the sound of it, I give it a try. I've been listening to Amon Ra, which is really good. That's like post metal sort of shoegazy type. Nails, which is power violence. Back Peaks, I like their new album, that's good. Creeper, they've got an EP that I quite like. Puppy.
He's making these up there. I like Crimson Satan's Nose.
I'm trying to
think of his good.
Well, I was trying to find, because they had someone who's a writer for one of the extreme metal magazines, and he recommended a band called Abba Zuzuzu and Akakoka. And I can't find either of them, so I'm not convinced.
I'm disappointed that neither of you said 21 Pilots.
No, sorry, I have to listen to lots of 21 Pilots because Ree likes it. I don't need to have it on my phone as well.
I'm really into St. Martha Shoegazer.
Yeah, that's a solid.
They don't exist either.
Yeah, I quite like her.
Yeah, she's good.
My favourite song by her is Hey, That's a Really Nice Foot.
Milk
I like that one, that's good. I like My Nose is Bigger Than Sweden.
Biffy Clyro's new album's not bad either.
I know that's a real group too.
I actually prefer that to... That's my fourth favourite album of theirs.
I don't think it's as good as My Nose is Bigger Sweden. That's really... Or Hey... What's that one? The Feet. Hey...
Hey, my feet are as big as Texas.
Oh, that's a different one that you were saying earlier.
It's a constantly evolving song.
It's an evolving song.
It's either feet or noses.
That's what all the songs are about. My
Have you seen Talking Armchair?
I don't know. Is it real?
Pee Wee Herman.
Yes. Pee Wee Herman.
Yes, there was a Talking Armchair in Pee Wee Herman.
I like...
And then he got out and he started making out.
Ears for Mexico. No, you said Mexico. I can't see.
Yeah. Cult of Luna. I like Cult of Luna. They're a real band as well. They're sort of shoegazy.
What is shoegazy?
Shoegazy, it's sort of meandering metal. It doesn't really go anywhere, and you're meant to sort of stand around and just look at your shoes. It's sort of like a more...
Your shoes are more interesting than the music.
Yeah, it's sort of like a more bleak and version of, I suppose, emo, isn't it? It's sort of, it's just called shoegaze. It doesn't really go anywhere. It just stays at the same sort of pace, and it's a bit sort of like a metal version of...
I like Rust and Heaver. Rust and Heaver.
That's from Mushy Monsters, isn't it?
No.
That's from
No, I just came up with that.
You just nicked it from Mushy Monsters.
I didn't.
I'm literally going to sue you on their behalf.
No, because their version is Justin Bieber.
I like Halloween Sheep. They're great. They're really good. Halloween Sheep.
My favourite one is Black Sheep.
Black Sheep.
Black and Orange Sheep.
Oh yeah.
I get my phone. I'll go into. And I better take this one to the park.
Roses for Sweden again. I can't think of any good silly names.
Roses from Sweden. You're not creative.
I am, but just not today. It's too hot.
Bee Bumble.
Bee Bumble. Oh, Bee Bumble's first album. That was really great. That was from 1923.
Yeah, that was
Bee Bumble.
by Flower Sniffer Butterfly.
Oh yeah, I got that one, and that was like so cool.
That was
It
like
the-
Sophia.
It's like ahead of its time. Bee Bumble.
Bee Bumble.
We love Bee Bumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not aware. What have I got?
Yeah. It's like
Bee Bumble's pretty good.
Bee Bumble is like sort of cross genre. Very
Architects.
Goes Bee Bumble.
Bee Bumble.
Black Moth. Cane Hill. I like Cane Hill's new album. It's sort of new metal.
Is it as good as?
Sounds a bit like Korn.
Our first episode of September 2016 was episode 19, and it was called Talking About Pop Music and Horror Films. Gosh, this is nearly a 2-hour episode. It's by far the longest. Our special guest, and he was a guest a few times, and I would have still liked to have recorded with him, but he was just a very busy boy. But our special guest was Eric from the Hysteria Continues podcast, which I mentioned being one of the things that got me into podcasting. And we talked about horror films and the 80s, and we also had a Vinyl Vault episode. I also took a walk through Hyde Park and had a bit of a natter, and also Callum appeared in this episode. Around the time this episode goes out, we'll have just met up, Grizzly, won't we? And we're intending to watch some horror films. I'm going to show you the first 3 or 4 Friday the 13th movies. Do you have a sort of mixed opinion of horror films? You like them, or do you really like them, or are you kind of like, I kind of like them, but also they're kind of.
I mean, I like slashers.
Yeah.
So I can watch Saw or Cube, but regular horrors, hard to say. Like, I don't want to watch them alone. If there's a zombie movie, I love it, but zombie movies are not horrors. Like Resident Evil, it's not a horror; it's a shooter. And I don't know, like,
well,
the Day of the Dead, the Shaun of the Dead. Okay, Shaun of the Dead is not a horror movie.
Oh, it's a kind of comedy horror.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th you'll probably enjoy, because they're considered to be slashers. Scream, the Scream movies are considered to be slashers.
We have also a Ring downloaded.
Yeah, we've got lots downloaded. We'll have to talk to you again after you've seen. We probably will. We probably would have recorded when we watched them for your opinion anyway. So.
Yeah, I was going to see everything at the cinema back then, which is polar opposite to me now. I was looking at the listings now, and I've seen nothing in the cinema. I haven't been to the cinema since that Friday the 13th marathon in London. But before that, the last new release I saw was probably in March, I'd say.
I went to see the absolutely fabulous film, and that's the first film I've seen since possibly the James Bond film.
I haven't seen either. Let's talk about James Bond. I am not a fan of Daniel Craig, I'm afraid. Not that I'm not a fan of Daniel Craig. I'm not a fan of the new style of movies where they've sort of sapped all the fun and the cheesiness out of the franchise. It's taking itself a bit too seriously. I mean, I'm one of the few people who waves a flag for Die Another Day. I love invisible cars and satellites pointing lasers that are going to melt the world and stuff like that.
Madonna.
Madonna as a fencing instructor. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see, what happened for me with James Bond was the first Bond movie I ever saw was Moonraker. So I think that poisoned my mind. It's like, okay, this is the way I want all my James Bonds to be. I want them to have far-fetched plots and be in space and have lasers and stuff. So I'm a big fan of Roger Moore's era Bond.
Yeah, I am too, probably because it's got the right balance of silly and I'm very. I even like View to a Kill.
So do I. Well, I'm a huge fan of Grace Jones. I mean, I wouldn't like to meet her because she's too terrifying, but I'm a huge fan of Grace Jones, and yeah, she's brilliant in View to a Kill.
And I also like, because I was going to talk about my 80s being how I didn't really get into the 80s until later, but we'll come back to that. But I did watch a lot of 60s in the 80s, and I was a big fan of the Avengers, and of course View to a Kill's got Patrick Whitney in it.
Yes.
It's very sad seeing him disappear into
a lake, isn't it?
To a lake.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird how it's like two 60s sort of spy heroes in one film.
Yes. with Roger Moore as well. You mean, is it?
Yes, yes, yeah. Of course, I'm very keen on the. I love the video to View to a Kill as well.
The Duran Duran video.
And Duran going up.
Yes. Do you know what? Do you want to hear a really pathetic story from my youth? I went to see myself and my brother went to see A View to a Kill in the cinema when it came out here in Ireland in 1985, and because of that Duran Duran video, I was convinced Duran Duran were in the film. And I was sitting there waiting for Simon Le Bon to make his big appearance in the film. And where's Simon Le Bon? Where is he?
He should have been in it.
I know. But now when I look back on that Duran Duran video, it's so obvious they're not part of the film.
Yeah.
But the 11-year-old me was a bit stupid.
Oh, well, I suppose this counts as, but my confession of being stupid will be, therefore, that when I first started watching things like proper sort of horror, like Evil Dead again, and all the things that were reasonably easy to get in the early 90s on video from Blockbuster, I used to, because I really sort of decided to start watching them when I was probably at the end of my first year at university in about 93 or something, and I was by myself in the house, and I wasn't sure I wanted to sit and watch them from end to end without being aware of where the scary bits were. So I'd sit there and I kind of whiz it through and see where each of the scary bits was. So I was ready for it. Then I was able to go back and watch it all the way through. I was pretty much 20 by that.
Well, when I was, it would have been about 15, and when my brother had moved to Manchester, and I went across to visit him, and I'm from a sort of a small, it's called a city, but for all intents and purposes, it's a town in the south of Ireland. And so I went over to my brother and visited him, went to the local video shop, saw all these videos that I couldn't get back home, which included things like Suspiria and Dawn of the Dead, and just a few others that I couldn't get hold of back home. Another thing I was very fond of about when I'm visiting the UK is your wide variety of flavours of crisps, which we've kind of caught up with you now in 2016, but back in 1988 or 89, we were salt and vinegar and cheese and onion over here, whereas you had all these exotic flavours. So I bought this huge vat of crisps, rented out all these videos. My brother went off into the pub with his mates, so I was left home alone, and I ate so many crisps that I vomited. So that was me. That's my version of going out and getting drunk, was sitting at home eating tons and tons and tons of crisps and watching videos that I couldn't get back home.
Anyway, let's get on to the next episode. Episode 20 is part of a 3-part episode. It's called A Much Needed Holiday, and I recorded it on location down in Kent. Again, around the time that this goes out, I'll have had another holiday down in Kent in the same location. And in fact, it was a holiday home that I've been to many times over the years, and have recorded stuff with Harry down there. But this was the first time we got to record there. It's a mystery location somewhere between Folkestone and Canterbury. But which is sort of a converted school that's been made into lots of apartments, and there's a swimming pool and there's nice grounds. And yeah, I'm very happy I'm going back. But yes, this was a definite attempt to sort of blend a holiday with a bit of a story going on as well, because there's some strange things going on in this 3-part adventure. I'm trying to think whether this was one of the trips I went completely by myself. May have been. I don't see any mention of special guests. In the second episode, my Canterbury Tales, I went to Canterbury for the day. And the third episode was called Exorcism by Poetry. And there was a ghost turning up in this episode. But Grizzly, you've been involved in episodes with me where things have gone slightly fictional. Your first visit, we did 2 episodes. We did a real episode and a fictional version of your visit. Were you able to keep up with what was going on?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody was.
Psst. Hey, listen. It's the Shylight Podcast with me, Shiny.
Hello and welcome to the Shy Life Podcast. Last time we were in Kent on holiday. Oh yes, it was all very strange. I was out and about. There were spiders leaving cobwebs everywhere. There were strangers in the shadows. There were voices, oh yes.
there were voices. There I was, having a nice quiet bath one evening when there came a knocking at the door.
Oh no, what's good? Be careful, all the water will be over the back of the bowl. Sorry. I thought I heard a voice. Probably just a neighbour, but probably making a bit too much noise. There was definitely something knocking at the door. Oh, bloody hell. Looks like this is the end of my bath. No more reading for me then. I'm pretty sure there is somebody knocking at the door. I just better go. I'm just going to have to stop this and get a towel and stuff. So we'll go and see who it is. I'm coming. Oh, for goodness sake. Who's this at this time of night? I'm coming. Hello? Hello? That's weird. No one there. This door's open. Hello? I'm not going out there. That's weird. Oh, God. Spider's webs all over me again. Dratted spider. This is ridiculous. I'm fed up with this. Ow. Somebody's definitely playing. Ow. Scratched myself with the. Open the door. There's nobody out there. This is no fun. This is not fun at all. It's not funny.
Do you hear me?
Who's that?
Hear my voice. I am here.
Hello?
Beside you. Yes. Right
Hello?
beside you now. You do not see me. Do not try to look for me. I am...
I can hear you.
Just a voice.
This is not funny.
In your
Where are you?
In your mind.
Where are you?
I am communicating with you.
Somebody's got in my flat.
With you and only
They're hiding in a
you.
cupboard
You
or
are
something.
special. I am here and I need your help. Do not be afraid.
Who's that?
Do not be afraid.
Who is that? Show yourself. Who are you?
Of the house.
Please.
A ghost, if you like.
Oh, my goodness.
If that is the way
What's
you prefer to
going
think
on?
of me.
Everything's echoing. Everything's strange.
Please, do I know you?
Please stop it.
Oh, yes.
Stop it. Stop it now, please. Stop it now. Please. Scaring me. Please. Scaring me. Please.
I must speak to. You are the only one that I trust to speak to.
I can't see. Please.
You must wait for me.
Please. Stop it.
You must wait, and I will
Stop it now. Stop it now. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Now, our next episode sees another guest who goes back to the old days of me making Sutton Park and things. It's an episode called Elaine and the Aliens. Elaine was originally a pen friend of mine, and yeah, I would have liked to have had her on the show more often than ended up happening. But I remember actually recording this one whilst I was on holiday. I can picture sort of. I think I must have been on my own that week, and so not only was I recording an episode set where I had arranged a few recording sessions with friends who were in forthcoming episodes, and this was one of those.
Did your brother's taste in music influence yours at all? Did you hate his music, or did you like some of his music? Or?
Well, like, obviously, it was mostly, as I say, most of it was Motown and reggae. There was probably a few other variations as well, other types of music as well. But yeah, I still like a lot of Motown stuff, and I still like, a certain amount of reggae. A lot of the stuff that he was listening to wasn't necessarily in the charts at the time. But it was. But I did acquire some of his old LPs of reggae, and I used to quite like listening to those. I think he's had them back since, but for a while I had them. But as I say, Motown, there's a lot of stuff there. I love Stevie Wonder and a lot of other sort of Motown stuff as well. But yeah, I suppose really, music was changing. I started, for me personally, when I started buying records was probably about 1978, 79, and the music was sort of obviously it changed quite a bit from the late 70s into the early 80s. Like you probably you've been watching the Top of the Pops on BBC 4, and obviously for me. I really got into music sort of like by the late sort of 79, 80, and then 82. Obviously with a lot of bands that were sort of suddenly are appearing now. I think they were the ones that really kind of I was really into at the time. People like Depeche Mode and Madness and ABC and Soft Cell and. There were so many, Gary Newman, there's so many...
Hello. James and Tim, hello.
Hi.
Yes, it's me, Paul Shayetti. Just thought I ought to send you a little message after the one I sent you last week. I didn't want to worry you. I'm back. Remember last week I was kidnapped by aliens, although kidnapped's a bit of a harsh word. They were very nice to me, except for the fishy tea and the that strange thing with tentacles. Although we actually got on quite well, me and the thing with tentacles, but that's another story altogether. Anyway, I'm back in near London, and all is well. But I have a message for you from the aliens, because I played them some episodes of Taste Like Burning and they loved them. They thought they were really good, and they wanted to leave a message for you so you could play it on your show. I'm not listening to it. I said I wouldn't listen to it. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be nice. So anyway, here's the message now.
Hello, we are the aliens. Hello, Tim and James from That's Like Burning. We are a big fan of your show. We are from aliens, place of aliens. But we see you in the earth. We'll come visit one day. We have a Yeti. He belongs to you. And yes, he's strange person. Oh yeah, he's not that shy. He won't stop talking. We are going to drop him home. It's too much. Cha-cha-cha keeps trying to read poems to us. He's reading poems. We find them slightly disturbing. Yes. And he also he talks about some things like Pride 48. He keeps going on about Pride 48. We do not understand. So we are dropping him home, but we are fans of you. We shall listen to your podcast from space. Ah, yes. We won't be listening to the Shy Life podcast, though. The Shy Life podcast is rather strange. He has made us listen to 5 episodes. Yes. Or is it 55? I'm confused. Anyway, we aliens, we love you. Tim and James from Cats Like Burning. We love you. We must say goodbye now. Yes, please. Do not tell the Yeti where we are living. We do not want him to return to us. You may keep him. Goodbye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye now.
Have you finished with my phone yet?
Oh.
You're leaving a bit. Are you ready? Are you finished? I hope you're saying nice things.
We are saying nice things. Please do not speak.
Okay. Can I have another cup of tea, please?
Yes, we are taking you home now.
Okay. Could we go round Neptune once more?
No.
Oh, okay. Episode 24 was called An American in Paris. Another episode I remember recording on that trip. My friend Carrie, an American friend of mine who was studying in France, we discussed music, literature and writing amongst other topics. I know Carrie came back when he came to London. I think we recorded in the Tate Modern. I also read a few poems from my book Go Forth and Divide. And there were messages from a few other familiar voices, plus a few clips from other shows where I'd been mentioned.
Hello, darling. Hello. It's me, Bettina Dupre. How are you, darlings? How are you? I want to say thank you. Thank you to that lovely Shayeti. He's so nice. So nice. He wants me to speak to you. He wants to add some glamour to this podcast. I would love to, darling. I said I would love to. Yes. If you want glamour, then you really should speak to Bettina Dupre. Yes. Yes, I will speak to you. Yes, I will tell you stories. Stories that will make your hair curl. Yes, and if your hair is already curly, my stories will make your hair go straight. Although I don't suppose that many of you are straight. My darlings, today I want to tell you about how I used to hang around in Soho in the 1980s. Oh my God, darling, it was wonderful. Yes, I used to hang out with him and Shaw. And we used to do we used to do everything. It was crazy. We were crazy girls. So yes. Yes. Anyway. Well, I think we ran out of time this time. So next time, if you would like to ask me some questions. Yes, ask me some questions. Darling, ask me some questions about my life and I will answer them, darling. So, if you have any questions about what you should do, like, you got some horrible boyfriend and he is really a horrible person, then I can give you advice, my darling. Yes, Bettina Dupre is here. Yes, here. to help you. So please write to Shy Yeti at shyyeti@yahoo.co.uk, and you ask us a question, ask me anything. I will speak my mind. I will tell you. I will tell you what I think. I will tell you my stories of the past, my darling. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Goodbye for now. 1 million kisses. 1,000,001 kisses.
Now, finally for today, episode 25, is called Paperback Writer, Other Formats Available. Now, this was an episode recorded with another Julie associated with Callum, and she was just about to publish her first book. Although I'd known Julie since the 90s, she only really got around to publishing stuff around 2016. She's still doing it to this day. Again, another guest I'd like to get back. We also had quite a number of holidays together, Dublin, San Francisco, and it was good to have Julie on the show.
Yeah, I have times like that as well, because I don't write in order.
Uh-huh.
I know what I'm going to write eventually, but I don't write it in the order that it's in the plan. So I think I wrote, chapter 1, then chapter 7, then chapter 9, then chapter 3, then chapter. So sometimes you can lose continuity a little bit. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
That's where a really good editor comes in. Well, I've enlisted the help of a couple of editors along the way. When one is self-publishing, the advice is to spend your money on the cover and on a good editor. So that's what I've done.
Yeah.
And the feedback from the editor was that there were some serious plot holes and some things which didn't quite work. So I ended up stripping out probably about 20,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
And then rewriting a slightly different storyline and refilling those 20,000 words with different ones. So it was quite, emotional's not the right word, but it was I guess it was a bit of a wake-up call. And if I'm honest, I think the book is better now than it was before.
That's the main thing.
So I think he was right to say what he said. Because as all editors will probably say, this is my advice, you don't have to take it.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're self-publishing, because it's your book.
Yeah.
It's what you want out of it, not necessarily what the person who's paying the bill wants, because, hey, you're that person paying the bill.
Yeah.
So initially I was a bit, I think disappointed is probably the right word. What do you mean it's no good? What do you mean that's wrong? And then actually, well, yeah, you're probably right. And then having seen what I've done with the rework, it does actually make it a better, slightly tighter story.
Yes.
So it was worth it in the end. But when you do suddenly just ditch 20,000 words out of a 90,000 word manuscript, it's a bit scary.
Anyway, listeners, as I said at the start, my look back at the early days of the Shy Life podcast is going to probably span across about 3 episodes. So this is where we come to a close at the end of September 2016. But Grizzly, thank you so much for joining me on the first part of my journey. And I'm very sorry. I would like to invent a time machine, and I will try and do that.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for being such a big part of the Covenant team, and for marrying me in forthcoming episodes.
Well, still waiting for actual proposal.
Well, I bought you the Lucasade.
Only imaginary one.
Oh well, but by the time this episode goes out, I would have seen you, so maybe I'll have bought you it. So don't judge me on what may be happening in the future.
I'm not judging you.
Okay, good.
Just waiting for the drink.
Yeah, okay, right. Well, thanks again, listeners. Join us again soon for more tales from the past, and yes, we'll be back. We'll finish with a few little clips, but yes, we'll say goodbye for now. All right, say goodbye, Grizzly.
What?
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
listen. It's the Shylight Podcast with me, Shynity.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Shy Life Podcast. It's good to have you here. Yes, it's been a bit of a traumatic few days, a bit of a weird few days, to be honest. Perhaps you need a recap, huh? Okay, let's have a recap. I'm just sheltering in this little shed. I definitely saw this figure go down this way, but it's just like he's evaporated. It looks like this. That's weird. There's golf clubs in here and golf balls and stuff. There's a sleeping bag too and a rucksack. What is going on? Just a minute, I can hear somebody. Somebody outside. We're just one of the holiday makers, but what if it's the figure? I'm just trying to keep the door closed. I don't know whether I should say anything. I just noticed loads of cobwebs in this. Loads of cobwebs on the roof of this place.
Hello, Paul. It's me, your Yeti Uncle John.
Oh, for goodness sake. Come in here. Come in, or come back with... What's going on here?
Oh, no, you must listen to me, Paul. You've got to listen to me. You need to help. You need to help the house. The ghost of the house. He needs your help. You must understand. If you don't help him, he will destroy everyone here.
What?
It's true, Paul. Listen to me, and I will explain. If you don't help, I mean, you are the only one who can help.
For me. You must. Only you, Shy Yeti. Only you can help me. Only you know how. I know that you are the only one, Shy Yeti. The only one who can help me. You must listen. Listen. Help me.
I gotta go now. Bye. Gotta go. Bye.
Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye.
Wow. Really? No kidding.
Thank you, darling. And you too. Bye-bye. That was beautifully done.
You can always call me.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com. ShyLife.com.
Oh dear. What's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Let's go.
I have a voice. I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
That is so cringe, oh my god.
You're a man of culture as well.
This one's called My Creative GNU. My creative GNU, he is there to advise. There is none that I know who is nearly so wise. Yes, his knowledge is special, dare I say it, essential. There's no doubt this GNU has fantastic potential. He's a creature of vision, and that vision won't blur. He's the one who designed the Brown Bears booming grr. He's the one who foresaw last week's new biggest hit, and who fashioned instructions which taught me to knit. My creative GNU, he is quite unsurpassed. Tapping into his talent, cross your paws that they last. My creative GNU, my creative GNU, he is full of creations that are brilliant and new. His ideas are the kind that cannot be berated. Yes, they're clever and wholesome and never X-rated. My creative GNU is a wonderful beast, so superbly inventive once his thoughts are released. His ideas can't be faulted, they are always precise. There's no doubt my GNU whips them up in a trice. Of his skills he's so modest, not some arrogant boaster. He's the one who invented the time-travelling toaster. The one who came up with vegetarian ham, with the pocket-sized pie and with self-spreading jam. My creative GNU, he's a wonderful fellow. His ideas should be bottled and captured in jello. My creative GNU, my creative GNU, he is full of creations that make you go woo. His ideas are the sort that cannot be insulted, as he ensures that all cats cannot be catapulted. My creative GNU really should be saluted. He's a force to be reckoned with, not a force to be muted. With his grand master plan he will solve all our woes. There's no doubt this GNU will be missed if he goes. Such a great inspiration, my dear pal mon ami. It is he who ensures that ham really tastes hammy. He's the one who designed buffalo underpants, bobble hats just for moths, pogo sticks used by ants. My creative GNU, there's no end to his wonder, is a talent to celebrate, which he knows not to squander. My creative GNU, he's full of creations, brain waves that just grew. His ideas are the type only GNUs seem to fathom. I'm not sure how they do it, I'm just so glad that they have 'em.
Oh yes, I like that poem. It's your Uncle John here. Yes, I like that poem about the GNU. What is a GNU? Is it a bird? No. Well, that was a nice one. I enjoyed it. It wasn't too long either. I managed to stay awake. I'm quite pleased. So, yes, very good. 10 out of 10. Keep up the good working, poeting. Yes. Yeah.
This is just the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Well, gotta tell you, I didn't expect that.
What the hell just happened on this show? I mean, seriously, reverse it, because I lost... What's going on? What happened?
Man, was that worth it or not? Oh my goodness, that was a darling little shoe. Whoa, I love that one. Great show, Paul. Yep, that was a good shoe.
I'm going to have some orange squash now. It's an exciting life. And everyone's a critic.
Et voilà. Oi, oi, that's your lot. Bye.
Oh, that sounded good.
817.
817. 817.
817. 817.
817.
Okay, stopping recording now.
Very cool.